Welcome back, everybody. This is the last in this series. I'm using Maltego in this example of a bit of crime scene analysis out in the field. The one thing I realized is that OSINT has a very close relationship with forensic intelligence. And I'm trying to illustrate here how the two can overlap to a certain extent. The example I'm using here is wildlife crime, which is quite prolific in our country. And your OSINT comes from game wardens, non-law enforcement officials, so game wardens, farm owners, security guards, etc. And this is fed into a bigger intelligence database, and we're going to start using this data. So we have an extract from our intelligence database. This data, like in the previous videos, we pull into Google Earth to have a look at it in a map view. We can focus in on it. It will form clusters, and clicking on any of these will give you either a spider web of several incidences, or on each individual incident you can have a look at the details pertaining to that particular incident. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to focus in on one area, a select area of where there was poaching, and we're just going to take a couple of scenes and analyze them in Maltego. So we focus in on these incidents, click one, it'll give us some basic detail about the incident. And we can go through the various incidences, have a look at the details, we're going to have a look at lodge that is close by. Geographical information is always important in these type of scenarios. Likewise, we go through the rest of the incidences until we're happy with what we've got. So with a selection of few incidences that we're going to analyze in this process, we import them into Maltego like we did in the previous videos. Sort out the links and import as per normal. And then in the graph we have our individual cases, their descriptions and their geolocations and dates. For easier viewing, let's put them into the hierarchy format. There we go. And already, it's easier to see these things in a graph than it is on spreadsheets and pieces of paper and so on. Here we can already see certain incidences repeating themselves on particular dates, which is a clue as to how these perpetrations are happening. Our on-crime scene analyst finds bullet points in the stomach of the poached animal, which is later photographed, and these are imported into Maltego as images to attach to the particular crime scene. Also found at the various crime scenes is shoe marks. Shoe marks is often, in many crime scenes, your biggest clue. I mean, even with burglaries and house break-ins, one seldom finds fingerprints, but you may find shoe marks. Again, imported into Maltego, we go through the same process, link them to the crime scene for comparison at a later stage. To view, just double click the image in Maltego and it will bring up the complete image, which is easier to view. And we repeat the process by adding various elements of trace evidence, ranging from bullet points to vehicle tracks to foot marks, shoe marks, and the process is completed once all this evidence is added. We neaten up our graph, go into the hierarchy view, and then with a bit of Facebook analysis we identify a poacher who's photographed on his page with a poached animal and a firearm, which is similar to the casings and discharge cartridges found at the scenes. For our shoe mark comparisons, we use a great free tool called Faststone Image Viewer. So images of our shoe marks can be imported and compared. All the similarities identified, and with the markup tool you can actually mark these similarities to make them a bit clearer. Those scenes where we found identical shoe marks in 3 different incidences, these can also be imported into the tool, and all three can be compared at the same time to identify the similarities between the different shoes. In Maltego, to give our graph further clarity, we start to add entities, which identifies our various pieces of trace evidence, in this case the footmarks at the different scenes. So all the similar footmarks we attach to our entity, which tells us then which footmarks belong to which scene. We then start to do the same with the vehicle tracks. We attach each vehicle track using the same method from the different scenes, which is all, and we do the same with the bullet casings, and this will also identify different or the same weapons used at different scenes or different incidences. And then our bullet points we also attach to an entity, which tells us then that that bullet point was found in a poached animal. Rearrange our graph, and we can see it's starting to take some format and provide us with clues to trends and attach various items or trace evidence to the different scenes. One of the key aspects that we have now is scenes that we have no trace evidence. And if we look carefully, these scenes took place quite a long time ago, which means they were investigated either when all signs of trace evidence had been eradicated and there was nothing left to collect, but these can so long just be ring-fenced and separated from the rest of the ongoing investigation. And with that, we've collected considerable trace evidence, and once suspects are arrested and their tools of the trade are found, they can be linked back to the different crime scenes. This has been a short video showing how Maltego can be used in crime scene analysis. Thanks again for watching. Please don't hesitate to contact us if you need any further assistance or help or suggestions. Be good to hear from you. Thanks, guys.